Hey everybody, it's Drew Scooter from Sleep With Me podcast, and I've been doing these live streams. So I wanted to give you a rundown of what we're going to do tonight. If you have a piece of paper and a pen, we're going to be doing some doodling, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about telling bedtime stories. I'll be here for about 15 minutes or so. And one other thing is on Sundays, it's a great time to change your sheets out. I was saying change your sheets the first and the third Sunday of the month. Hey, Joe. Hey, Golden. But hey, Soph. But I would say it's like change them out every Sunday now, or at least that's what I'm doing. It really, I don't know, it just makes me feel good getting in bed on Sunday night with, or washing my sheets or whatever. So, just a little tip to make your life a little bit more luxurious right now is just fresh sheets on Sunday. Or if you only have one set of sheets, wash them on Sunday. So cool. I'm going to do some doodling here. You might say, what in the world is this live stream? And yeah, I got my this tree. It's a symbol of being human in these human times. It's a Christmas tree that's still up, and I forgot about it. It hadn't been lit up. So, what was I going to talk about? Oh, why doodle? What are we doodling about? So, anybody out there, you doodle it. You could just doodle. You could scribble. You could draw. I'm going to be doodling. Maybe I'll be. I might have to grab some water. I'm going to be singing a doodle song, and. Yeah, and eventually, like later this week, I'll make up a bedtime story from the doodles. If you want to share your doodles with me, I think you could follow me or whatever, at Dear Scooter. So yeah, let's get doodling. I'm not there's another, or scribbling. There'll probably be another doodle cast with somebody that actually knows how to draw tomorrow, and during the week, a lot of artists are doing that. Hopefully it doesn't drop my phone. This is also my notes, but barely. So let's get doodling here. And you can doodle along at home. There's no great thing about doodling is there's no wrong or right way to do it. You just doodle or you scribble. And I'll do some scribbling too. Just get some doodling. Ooh. Giddy up, doodle, doodle, I'm doodling. Doodle up, doodle-o, do-doodle-o. I'm doodling. This is a doodle show. I'm doodling now. If Bart Simpson doodled, he'd say, man, have a cow. If I doodle, will you doodle too? You know, it's a great time to doodle when you're feeling blue. You could doodle when you're sad or doodle when you're mad. You could doodle with your mother, brother, sister, father, or dad. You could doodle, you'll see. You don't need to sing annoyingly. Just when you doodle with me, doodle and doodle. Da 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 do. Ba 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 dee da da dee. Doodly doodly dee 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 doodly dee. I'm doodling with glee. Fruit whoop, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. I'm making a doodle, what do you know? Who's this guy? What's he doing on Instagram? I'm doodling, ma'am. That's what I'm doodling, and I'm kind of a little bit of a doodle ham. I'm a doodler. Boo boo blur blur. Bloop blah 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 bloop blah blah bloop 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 blah blah blah. That was my friend the Doodlebot. Wee doodle boo 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 doodle boo ba ba la 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 lo la 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 la. I'm doodling. I'm gonna do a repositioning of my doodle hand. Doodle up, let that down. Sha 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 sha. I'm doodling a swirl right now. Pull up, pull up, pull up, bow, bow. Yes, I'm doodling now. Do 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 do. Now let's get some scribbles going right now. I'm scribbling now. Scribbling's much rougher row. Makes me want to sing like this. Like I just gave a pirate a kiss. To scribble on me mateys. Watch this. Doodle-up-ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-bang. I'm just scribbling doodles, ain't. Get it out, get it out, get it out with scribbles. Shash love level. Dee-dee-lip-up-up-up-up-up-bellow. That might have just creeped some people out. So let's scribble about. I'm scribbling, yes sirree. I'm scribbling, ooh. I'm scribbling with all of you. Scrib. I'm scribbling, ooh. Scribbling over my scribbles, yes I do. Scribble up, scribble. Scrib-ba-ba-la-bo. Biddle-pop-pop-pop-pop-pop-pop-pop-pop-po. I'm scribbling with my eyes closed right now. Holy cow. I'm scribbling. I'm scribbling, yes sirree. I'll scribble for another 30 seconds or so. Sha show. La da 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 da. Do. Dee da 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 fro. Do dee. Just scribbling dee. Na 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 dee dee da na na dee 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 dee. Na 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 na. Scribbles coming to a close. We got some scribbles. We got some doodles. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, so we got some scribbles, we got some doodles. I'll see if I can make it a bedtime story later this week. I think one thing with the scribbles and the doodles, for me, is not thinking about it. And so I'm trying to separate the idea of, like last week I did a bedtime story right after. And I know if I did a bedtime story after this, it would influence the randomness of my doodling. And so I'm trying to separate it out. So we'll see what we can come up with. If you have doodles, share them with me. Maybe I can work them into my story. So that's doodling. And that was pretty, I don't know if anybody else doodled along, but I think the balance of scribbling and doodling, like, I don't know, it really works some stuff out there. So there's that. So now I'm going to talk about why to tell bedtime stories, and then another simple structure for telling a bedtime story, and a really fun one. So why tell bedtime stories? I've been encouraging people over the past week or so since I've been doing these live streams to get out there and tell your own bedtime stories. If you're not comfortable calling someone or streaming with someone or sending them a message or telling your partner or someone you're dating or your roommate or your family members bedtime stories, is, you right now, if you feel more comfortable, you could tell yourself a bedtime story, or you could tell an inanimate object a bedtime story, or you could tell a pet a bedtime story. And in fact, I'll practice along with you. Let's see here. Let's bring in this. Mind if I bring you on camera? I should probably get your permission first here. You're right. It's not really. Yeah, we don't want to get any of our clutter on camera, right? I mean, I can't have Marie Kondo making a. Well, I wouldn't mind if Marie Kondo made a home visit, but so hey, is this your first time on camera? Great. So we met at Home Depot, huh? Right. And it was a fateful moment, huh? You're one of the, you look great. Sorry about that. You put your head on my shoulder. Put your plant head on my shoulder. I'm closing my eyes and calling you baby. Anyway, didn't plan on singing to a plant tonight, but what can we do, right? Okay, so do you mind being a stand-in, an object for people to relate to about people telling bedtime stories? Because not everybody's comfortable with the idea of telling a bedtime story until they get some practice in. So is that okay if I tell you a bedtime story, or work with the audience telling you a bedtime story? Great. No objections here. So, whoa boy. Okay, I can't get everybody on camera. Sorry. Okay, hold it down back there. Whew. So why tell bedtime stories? Let's go into a little bit of serious. Why tell bedtime stories? Right now, I've been talking about it. We're in this global event, and we really are in it together. People keep saying that over and over again, but it is true. And it is true in a strange way of what does that mean? But there's also this other thing we're sharing right now is how much is under our control and how much is outside of our control, right? And we're all trying to find that balance as we deal with the daily feelings that come up for all of us. And I'm not expert at any of that. I'm expert in having those strong feelings on a moment-to-moment basis I'm trying to take things one day at a time. But telling a bedtime story is under your control. Telling it to yourself or to someone else or to another being or to an inanimate object with kindness and caring, that is under your control. For most of us, not everybody that's watching maybe is in that place right now. And that is one thing that's going to get us through this, and that we're going to be with on the other side of this is how do you want to, when you're in a clear, calm place, confront this crisis? And then what can you do? And this is one of those tiny things you can do. And you could do it for somebody in your life, or you could do it for yourself. Or, I never named you. It's really embarrassing. I knew this was going to come up as soon as I picked you up. And I don't know what kind of plant you are, but you've been really reliable. You're like one of those plants I trust. You're closest to the window. So could I call you Indigo? Because when I said closest to the window, it reminded me of closer I am to find. Do you mind if I call you Indigo? Great. But that kind of reminds you of Princess Bride. Yeah, it's not indigo, but I can see it's. I can't say it because I always miss. But okay. But as indigo works, okay. So that's why to tell a bedtime story, and then I wanted to get into. Hey, Stacy, one of the narrators. So I wanted to get into a simple structure for telling bedtime stories. Tonight I'm sharing a new one. And it's one that every child in the world, anyone that has a child in their life, you're already familiar with this, so you're already practicing it. Children are an unintentional expert at this bedtime story skill. And then adults in children's lives, you get plenty of chances to observe this. So I don't know if you've had a child give you a recap of a book, a TV show, a movie, a play, a musical, a story, or their whole school day in real time. But the kids do it all the time. They say, oh, how was that movie? And what you really mean is, how was that movie? Did you enjoy it? Oh my gosh. And then 4 hours later, they tell you about a movie that was 80 minutes long. They're so lovely. I know I do it, but it's my job to do it. So so that's one really easy way is to copy. Isn't there a song about this? Teach us well, children, or something. Let children's laughter remind us how we could tell bedtime. I decided long ago to tell bedtime stories. Indigo and me, we're trying to empower thee. I never get to sing on the podcast, so that's it. I'm trying to think of like a good example because most of so last movie I saw in the theater was the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and the main reason I went was because like I'm a big Ben Schwartz fan, and I said anytime I could give money to a Ben Schwartz related thing, I was like, I'll like that's. I'm not even kidding. I was they would have never go like I like Jim Carrey and I like Sonic the Hedgehog and I like James Marsden. So those were icings on the cake. But I said like my daughter didn't even know the movie was in the theater, and I said, wait a second, Ben Schwartz is in this? So I said, do you want to go see Sonic the Hedgehog? And actually, it was doing pretty good on Rotten Tomatoes. And so we went to it. So this is how you start your bedtime story. So it was like, so it was like, so you go call up Nana. That's our thing. Oh, sorry, Indigo. So, there's this movie. Oh, what's a Sonic the Hedgehog? Well, so Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, that's a good question. The movie kind of answers that question. Now, the movie opens in action, and I think it's just called Sonic the Hedgehog. Do you know you're familiar with what a hedgehog is? Oh, you watch, so you like nature shows. Okay. And so Sonic's not a hedgehog from Earth. Well, the movie starts off, do you know what's the name of the character? He's like a scientist, and he's got a weird name. We're familiar, he has like a big mustache. I think his name's like Dr. Gloopy Pants or something. I'll remember it eventually. And so I said so the movie opens with Sonic in a running from this his nemesis or the villain from the movie, whose name I can't remember right now. He's got two names in the movie. And so, but then I think that's a flash forward or something. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik. He also has another name in the movie too. But so so this is just how you do it, and you say, okay, well, I gotta hold on. So yeah, I know. Usually on the podcast, I actually would do this better. But so Sonic's on the run. Then that was a flash forward. Then there's like a flashback that I can't totally remember. Yes, I did have an extra large. So the thing with the root beer. So the movie theater sells a large root beer, and it's a local independent movie theater. So our business is staying local. But yeah, it's a large root beer, but you get a free refill. So it is equivalent of a few 2 liters. And, okay, so then I can't remember what happens, but we go back to Sonic's life. Sonic's living the dream. And I'm pretty sure Sonic, can't remember much about it other than I think Sonic lives with a wise woman, and maybe she's like the matriarch of the entire community, but she's also a magic user, a sorceress. She has magic, not coins. They're rings. They're golden rings, and so she I think Sonic's about to come of age, which you all know what that means with the hedgehog. It means they're going to run very, very fast. And I don't know if Sonic had learned to run very fast at this point, or if Sonic had high tops at this point. I don't think probably Sonic had high tops at this point. But then you can't even remember what happened, but something happens with the rings, and these other characters transport. Do you know if it's a Koopa Trooper or if it's something else? Because I always call them Koopa Troopers, but they're the tortoises or the turtles And Sonic has Sonic's own version of those. So they come in to since this is a bedtime story, they come to say, "Hey, Sonic, come live in our world. Like, take a journey over here." So Sonic goes off and has to jump through a hoop or a gold ring. Talk about jumping through golden rings. And Sonic ends up in a world just like ours, possibly ours, and it's and then I think there's a time lapse. So then we meet James Marsden, who's playing a character that seems very much like I would imagine James Marsden is actually like very nice. I think affable. I think affable is the right word, and cute. I would say cute, like maybe in real life you'd say more handsome than cute, but in the movie more cute than handsome. And he is he's a authority figure, and he's like he cares about animals, loves animals, and that's all. And he lives in a small town, and very funny. He actually probably would he'd be the kind of person that talks to plants. I mean, he talked to other animals. Then, so Sonic's watching him the whole time. So there's some sort of time. We go into the story, this part of the story, I think after some time's lapsed. But this is like something we can all relate to, especially those of us who can't sleep, or plants in my life. Though I don't like loneliness. Sonic is lonely. So we get a theme from the movie, which is like loneliness. And also the meaning of home, I think, is another one of the messages in the movie. And like those are two things we learn about in the film, or throughout the film. You see, Sonic doesn't have to learn, and there's about like, oh, what is a family? Oh, home, family, and loneliness. So Sonic's lonely. I think I said that, and I don't know. Like sometimes I'm troubled by movies that say, "Don't dream too big, James Marsden. Appreciate what you have." But I think that's like he doesn't. But it's more like you don't realize what you have because you have this wonderful place in the world that's your home. So eventually, Sonic and James Marsden meet one another. I don't know exactly when it happens. At the same time, I don't know if it was because Sonic was running so fast or because of something else. Sonic talk about authority figures. The authority figures find out that Sonic is somewhere in existence, so they start looking for him. That's who Dr. Robotnik is, but it's somebody, I think he has another name. This guy is like so rude in the movie. Like I said, wow, this guy's rude, even to his coworkers. And he was so rude it made me uncomfortable. Be honest with you, I'd just be honest with you. And then, so they are looking for Sonic. This is a part, kind of happens a lot. James Marsden agrees to hide Sonic against his best judgment. James Marsden, Sonic, they have that. Then the rest of the movie happens. Eggman, Dr. Eggman, I am the Eggman. I think he's Dr. Robotnik at the end of the movie. Also wide open for a sequel, just in case you were worrying. Yes, and I think Dr. Eggman is like a bootstrapper, which is not somebody. That's usually who usually is the antagonist on Sleep With Me too, saying, well, if you just tried hard enough and you just thought it hard enough, you'd bootstrap your way. Like, I think that's the solution to everything, which makes the end of the movie interesting. The end of the movie and the post-credits or the during the credits thing's really good. How do you feel about the post-credits scenes? Like, where do you stand on that? Okay. So that's how to start recap, and you just check in whenever the person falls asleep. If not, you can keep going, and you just kind of go off tangent when you're okay. Oh, you want to stay on camera? You like being on camera? Can I give you a kiss? Oh, probably not a good example. Okay. Well, we share an environment. So, oh, whoa, whoa. Okay, so I missed all the comments because I was talking, but I appreciate everybody that had a comment. I mean, I'm assuming. It seems like Instagram's a much different place than other places I've live streamed before. So that's just a way to tell a bedtime story. You could do it tonight. You could do it tomorrow. You could do it for yourself. You could also do that technique to put yourself to sleep, or just to have fun. I like the movie kind of explains why he has two names. You know, I'm a big fan. I've talked about it on the podcast of like the back on Wii. There was Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, and Dr. I like to play ping pong as Dr. Robotnik. So I don't know what's that. I don't know if that's worth anything, but so yeah, that's it. Tell some bedtime stories. I'm so happy everybody out there that I'm be able to help with the podcast. Dak, Alexis, Liz, but yeah, tell people bedtime stories. You know, reach out and find a way to connect. I've been posting resources in my Instagram bio. If you're really in need of resources and you're really in a really tough place, reach out for help. There's a link to help in my bio, to a link, because I just tell bedtime stories, but I want to empower you not just to tell bedtime stories, but to take care of yourself right now. And yeah, like we'll get through this together too. And that's the other message that a lot of people are putting out. And I mean, I'm a little conflicted even saying that because it's coming from a place of privilege, but this is how I can be of service right now too. So I'm here, and I'll be back as much as I can during this time. And I'm trying to switch up the times to hop around time zones. So it might not, like now it's 9:30 on the East Coast. But yeah, it might be some other time tomorrow. But they'll be in my story. And yeah, so tell some bedtime stories, doodle when you need it. And the podcast is here daytime or nighttime right now. So whenever you know. So take care of one another, okay? And take care of yourself. And I'll see you later. Good night.